Hello and welcome to episode 4 of LCTV, where we're going to be telling you what the shops don't tell you before you buy your designer shoes. Now, we just want you to understand what will happen to your designer shoes if you wear them in a certain way, if you wear them to a certain place, if you wear them in a certain type of weather. Are they comfy? Are they heavy? Just stuff like this, just so you understand before you buy the item what could happen to your shoes. Not to say that there's any faults or there's anything wrong with them, but basically just to make you aware of what will happen to your shoes if you wear them in a certain way, because just because they're designer shoes doesn't mean they're invincible. Stuff can still happen to them, so we want you to get as much wear as possible out of the shoes. So we're going to give you pointers and tips to basically do and what not to do with your designer shoes. So we're starting alphabetical order, and there's a few different variants of the Alexander McQueens, and the first one is the white leather Alexander McQueen with the suede tab. Now, you can get the suede tab in many different colours, but for the purpose of this video it's the red one. So what happened this week was a customer came into store and she said she's got McQueens at home and that the red dye of her McQueen is dripped down onto the shoe, and the first thing I said to her was, did she wear them in the rain? And she did. So basically what happens if you wear your Alexander McQueens in the rain is, if you've got the suede back and your suede gets wet, it can drip down onto the white and it looks like it's been stained. It's not that much of a problem. You can get the suede removed from acetone, but we do not recommend you do this at home. We recommend you give it to a professional shoe cleaner. Because it's happened to your shoe doesn't mean that the shoe is bad or anything like that. It's just the fact that Alexander McQueen use a really delicate suede, so if any wetness gets onto the back of it, it can drip down. So basically we just recommend don't wear your Alexander McQueens in the rain. So to stop this happening, the alternatives are you can get the metallic ones on the back or the leather ones on the back, and this will just stop that problem. Another thing that we've noticed with the Alexander McQueens are that when you first get them from brand new shops, they are not the comfiest shoes. The shoe is all leather, so it's a really thick, sturdy, firm material. So when you put your foot in it, there might not be that much leeway, there might not be that much movement in your shoe, but the more and more you wear them, the looser it becomes. So if you think about it, buying Alexander McQueens pre-owned means they've already been broken into, so they're actually a lot more comfier to wear at first. Obviously they won't be in brand new condition, but they'll still be in excellent or like new condition from ourselves. If you do like your shoes to be comfy and you don't really like walking around in shoes that are uncomfy, you get a lot of blisters sometimes from brand new shoes. The Alexander McQueen, getting them pre-owned is a much better bet. So you've got the Alexander McQueen with the suede on the back. Now, if we move on to the Alexander McQueens with the glitter. Now, it's a common problem with a lot of the Alexander McQueen glitters is that the glitter just falls off. If you think about it, it's just glitter glued onto a shoe. So obviously if you're walking and your two shoes hit together, or you walk a lot on them and you crease them, the glitter will just fall off. It's just natural for it to happen. Just because they're an expensive designer shoe doesn't mean that they're guaranteed for the glitter to stay onto. Yes, of course, if a lot of your glitter's fallen off, then it shouldn't happen. But the odd glitter here and there to fall off isn't that much of a problem. It does happen. So if you're at home and some of the glitter has fallen off and you're really worried about it, don't be. A good thing about this is it's leather at the back, so you won't get the drip dry problem with this one. So that's it with the Alexander McQueens. Now we're moving on to the Balenciaga Arena. Now I tried to come up with something to make you aware of, but to be honest, they're quite a sturdy, solid shoe. I have them myself in the black high top ones. The only thing I can think of to make you guys aware of before buying these is you can see that they've got a gold buckle at the front and the gold rings on the side. So basically what happens sometimes on these is that it can rub onto the leather that the shoe's made of and cause a little mark to appear. But to be honest, it's not that much of a bigger deal. It only happens when you're putting them on and off all the time and you're tightening your laces, because it just makes those little gold rings and the gold tab move when you tighten your laces. So to be honest, there's not a lot on the Balenciaga Arena to make you aware of, because they're a pretty solid shoe. They're made of leather, but it's not a hard leather like the Alexander McQueen. It's a nice soft calfskin leather. There's not much else that you need to know about the Balenciaga Arenas. So the next one that we're going to move on to is the Balenciaga Runner. So these are a pain to clean because the midsole is bright white when you first get them, but the midsole's made of a kind of foamy, rubbery material. Where you get mud on it, it does turn a bit yellowy, and it's just what happens because of the material it's made out of. If you get mud on it and you keep on top of it, you send them to shoe cleaners every so often and you just wipe them off whenever you see that there's marks on them or there's mud on them or stuff like that, then they will stay quite white. They won't stay pristine white, but they will stay quite white. It's when you get mud on them and they've got dirt on them and you keep it there, you don't keep on top of cleaning the Balenciaga runner, that's when it starts to go a bit yellowy in colour. So that's just something to look out for. Other than that, on the Balenciaga runner, there's not much to comment on. Everything else is pretty much perfect. That's the runner, and next we're gonna move on to the Balenciaga speed shoe. Now, the speed shoe is one of those shoes where it's really easy to wear these a lot because they're such a comfortable shoe, they're such an everyday shoe. But if you do wear them every day, the midsole does start to go off in colour. So basically what the midsole is, it's a kind of foamy material. It's not like the Balenciaga runner. It's a lot softer, it's a lot more glossy. Basically what the midsole is, it's a black midsole and it's just painted white. If you wear them a lot, which a lot of people do because they're an everyday shoe, like I said before, they're just so easy just to put on your feet. You don't need to tie them up or anything, you just whack them on and then there you go, you can go out the door. They do start to wear down on the midsole. So basically what this means is, because it is a white midsole and it's black underneath, the black starts to come through, so it may look like there's a dirt mark or something on that. So what people do is they try and rub it off, they try and clean it off, and what that means is the black of the underneath of the sole just comes up even more. So it's not really a good thing to do. And as I say, this only happens if you wear them a lot every day, but that is just something you've got to look out for before you buy these. It will happen to them because you wear them a lot, because they're such an everyday shoe. The midsole on the paintwork could wear down. Another thing about these is that they're really light. It's not a bad thing, it's just we thought you should know that when you get these shoes, they are really light. They're not like any other designer shoes where they're made out of, obviously they're made out of high quality materials, but the high quality materials they use don't add any weight to the shoe. Like the Alexander McQueen, they use good quality thick leather that adds weight to the shoe. They use a big chunky rubber sole that adds weight to the shoe. The Balenciaga Triple S, they have a big thick 3-inch sole that adds weight to the shoe. But on these, they're all light materials and they're all high quality materials, but yeah, it's a really light shoe. Another thing with these is you need to get your right size. If you get a size smaller in these, because they are just like socks, your toe could stick out the end of them to thin materials. So if they are too small for you, you will have like a bit at the end where it's just misshaped, and that's it really. So just pointer before you buy these, make sure you get your right size. So next we're going to move on to the Triple S. So the Balenciaga Triple S is a really heavy shoe. It weighs 3 pounds, so that is a lot of weight. So if you walk around a lot, you like to go shopping for a long period of time, we wouldn't really recommend that you wear these because your legs will feel it by the end of it. They're such a heavy shoe. Other than that, on the Triple S, there's not much really to comment on either. I mean, the materials that they use are such a high quality, they don't really get that damaged. The bottoms of the shoe, they're really good. Everything about the Triple S is just immaculate, it's just high quality. The only thing that we tell people is beware when you buy them because they are a really heavy shoe. And yeah, that's all we need to say about the Triple S really. And now we're going to move on to the Isabel Marant Beckett. So this, believe it or not, is one of our most popular shoes. When we first started out, this was a shoe that we used to sell so many of, and we continue to do so. They're just such a popular shoe, especially in the Liverpool area. A couple of things just to point out is the sole, it can wear down if you wear them a lot because it's a rubber sole that's got no platform. The rubber is basically on the floor all the time. So if you wear them a lot, it will wear down. For a shoe that is 100% or 99% suede all the way around, it just lasts forever. The shoe itself, because it's got loads of suede on, you would think that the suede will get damaged, the shoe itself will get damaged, but it's such a high quality suede that it just doesn't seem to happen with them. Obviously, if you have them for a long time, the suede will shorten and it will get a bit wrecked, but if you keep on top of them, you keep cleaning them, you keep brushing them out, they do keep in really good condition. When you wear jeans with them, black, blue, whatever colour, because the inside is kind of a soft material, it just creates jean dye marks. Now, it's not a massive problem, it's just something you should be aware of that happens to the Isabel Marants. But other than that, the Isabel Marants are a pretty solid shoe. If you look after them well, you could have these for absolutely years. So this last shoe we're going to move on to is the Valentino Rock Runner. Now, this is my personal favourite shoe. In my opinion, they are the comfiest shoe. I was, again, trying to find something to fault with these, just to make you be aware of when you buy them. And really, I couldn't find one. But the only thing I would say, just to make you aware of, just to basically say something about the Valentinos, is similarly to the Balenciaga speed shoes, just make sure you get your right size in them. And this is because if you get a size too big in these, it means that the front of them will crease a lot. And on the front of these is camo, and the camo is just basically painted on. So it's paintwork on the front of your shoe. And if your paintwork is creasing, it means there'll be cracks in the paint and some of the paint will begin to flick off and stuff like this. We just urge people just to get your right size, because like I said, if they are too big, they'll cause cracks. Other than that, the Valentino is, like I said before, it's one of my favourite shoes. I've got a pair of these myself. I really like them. So that is all the things just to look out for when you're buying your designer shoes. Like I said, we're not trying to discourage anyone from buying them at all. Obviously, we're trying to sell them to you. We're just trying to make you aware of what to expect when you're buying these designer shoes. Just because they're designer shoes doesn't mean they're invincible. Stuff can happen to them if you don't look after them properly. Now, you can do what you want with your shoes, but we just want you to basically have as much wear as possible, because we understand you're spending a lot of money on your shoes. So why wouldn't you want as many wears as possible out of them? And even if you decide that you don't want to wear them anymore, if you keep them in good condition, and if you do look after them, you can sell them again and you'll get a lot of money back for them. So thanks for watching this episode of LCTV. We hope that this has given you a lot more of an understanding of what to expect with your designer shoes, what might happen to your designer shoes. Understand that just because they are an expensive shoe doesn't mean they're invincible. If I've missed anything off, if anything's happened to your designer shoes, if you think that there's a common fault that I haven't mentioned, please drop in the comments below and we'll have a little conversation with you. Please remember to like, share, comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.